Hello students, welcome to School of Webpreneurship Lecture 4. In this lecture, I will teach you some of the very basics of Elementor. Let's get started. So, what is Elementor? Elementor is a drag and drop page builder plugin for WordPress. It allows you to create websites very easily by just dragging and dropping widgets like images, text, and so on. And a plugin is basically something that adds an extra feature to WordPress. Some plugins can allow you to just add a simple gallery to a page, while others can help you literally create the page like Elementor. So to get started with Elementor, we have to install it first. To install a plugin, hover over Plugins and click Add New. Then search for Elementor. Now usually you would click Install Now, and once that's done, you would click Activate. But as you can see, Elementor is already installed and active. That's because the theme that we are using, Astra, is made using Elementor. So when we installed the theme, it also installed the plugin. Let's add a new page. Make the title whatever you want. And click Publish. Click View Page. As you can see, this is just a normal page right now. Let's go back to the back end and click Edit with Elementor. This will turn this into an Elementor page. This is the basic Elementor interface. On the left is where all the widgets like images, text, and buttons are, and on the right is where it shows you the page, where you will drop these widgets into. Let's start by adding a section. Click on the plus sign. Here it shows you how many columns you want in your section, but for now let's just click the one column. So the blue part is the section, and the gray part inside is the column. And inside the column is where the widgets will be. So let's start by adding a widget. Let's drag an image. Click here and select whichever image you want. You can see the image on your page on the right. If you want to view it without the left widget area showing up, all you need to do is click this little arrow. That way you can preview the site just like how a viewer would without implementing changes on the actual website. Before we get more into how to customize the widget, you need to know about the two different types of Elementor pages, Elementor Canvas and Full Width. To change the page type, we can click on the little cog icon on the bottom left and change the page layout. The Elementor Full Width template includes the header and the footer, while the Canvas template includes only Elementor. We will learn more about headers and footers in the upcoming lectures. Let's change it back to Elementor Full Width. Now let's customize the image a little bit more. Click on the Edit button right next to the image. Let's go through the options. But before you can do that, you can see on top that there are 3 tabs: Content, Style, and Advanced. For now, we're only going to stay in the Content and Style tabs. Okay, so in the Layout tab, first there's the option to change the image. I still want it to be this one. Then there's the size. So if I change the size to thumbnail, the image will become small, like a thumbnail. I'm going to keep mine large. Next, there is alignment. You can align it to the right, you can align it to the left, or you can align it to the middle. If you want to give the image a bit of description, you can add it using captions. And next is the link. If you want it so that if someone clicks the image, it takes them somewhere to like a link, you can use link. Just do custom URL and add whatever link you want over here. Let's switch to the Style tab. Here you can see there are a lot of options. Let's go through all of them. This is the width. With this you can change how wide you want your image to be. maximum width is just how it sounds. It changed the maximum width. So if I set it to 85, it won't go above 85, even if I change the width to more than that. Then there is height. You can change the image size by using these three. To set it to the default one, you can just leave the values empty. Opacity is how opaque the image is. The higher the opacity, the more opaque the image will be. There are two options in this one. One is normal and the other is hover. If we switch over to hover and change it, then if we hover over the image, as you can see, the opacity changes. Border is basically adding a frame around the image. There are different types of borders. There's solid, double, dotted, dashed, and groove. I'm going to keep it solid. You can change the width. You can change the color. And you can also change the radius, which is basically curving the endpoints or the corners of the border. Now let's add another column. Right click the column and click add new column. To go back to the widget area where you can select the widgets, click this button on top. Now let's drag in the text editor. As you can see, it already has some dummy text written in it. Let's copy and paste that 2 more times. Now let's change some of its style. Go to the Style tab and align it to the center. As you can see, it's in the center, but it's not in the middle. That's because the column is set that way so that whatever is inside of it goes from top to bottom. If you want to change it, click on the column you want it to change it to. Go to vertical align and select middle. Now let's change a little bit more of the text style. Here you have the option of changing the color. You can change it to whatever you want. I'm going to change mine to black. Next there is typography. Here you can change the font, the size, the weight, lots of different stuff. Let's change the font to this one. You can choose whichever one you want. I'm going to choose this one. You can change other things here as well, such as the weight, like how bold it's going to be. You can make it bold. You can make it bold. You can make it more if you want from here, or less. I'm going to keep mine normal. You can make it uppercase, lowercase, capitalize it, or let it stay normal. You could turn it to italic. You could underline it, overline, line through, anything you want. But I'm gonna keep mine the way it is. Remember that if you've done a lot of different changes and you don't remember where you did all of them from and you want to revert it, all you need to do is click on this little button that says back to default. This will reset all the changes. Now let's update the page and refresh it. And there you go. Remember that in the assignment you have to share the URL of your page, not the main URL, the page URL. You can find it by going into the dashboard, clicking on pages, hover over the page that you just made and click view. This will take you to your page and you can copy the URL from here and submit your assignment. That's it for today. Remember that the more you explore, the more you will learn, and I will see you next time.